Good morning, Finley Dreamers.
Good morning, Mrs. Adams.
And good morning, Finley Scholars.
Good morning, Mr. Miller.
Good morning, Finley family.
Good morning, Mr. Kirby and Brianna, Larry. We are so happy to see you, and we're going to be hearing you shortly.
Something fun about today. Can you hear that little guy laughing? Well, if I'm in a bad mood, sometimes I press it and it makes a laughing sound. And I was just thinking today on April 1st, laughter is so good for us. It not only makes our bodies actually feel better, our brains, our hearts, our relaxation. But I have to stop and think, if something is funny to me, is it going to be funny to everybody? So sometimes I have said things that I thought were jokes, and they didn't turn out to be funny for everybody. So I hope today, if you're thinking of something that will provide some enjoyment, fun, laughter, because that is so good for us, that you remember, will everybody find this funny? Or maybe a better way to look at it is, might somebody be hurt by this, by these words, or by what I'm doing? If that's the case, then it's not really funny, is it? So I love jokes. You know I like Friday Fun Days. That's how I try to keep things fun, by thinking about everybody involved and are we lifting everybody up to have a great day. That's my idea today, Mr. Miller.
Wow, a lot there to think about, and I really like that, of course. In fact, we had the cool kids talking about how to respond instead of react to others. So that kind of fits there in terms of thinking ahead before you say things that possibly could hurt others. And you want to think about some things that could help them or support them before you say it or do anything. So they're working on that strongly, so we're proud of them. Today's some enjoyment. Some people that get to eat lunch with me. Mrs. McDermott's student Micah, Mrs. Spricer's student Pernusha, Mrs. Roberts Varghese, Grace, Mrs. Rivard, Fabian, Mrs. Jinks, Brianna, Mr. Williams, Vanessa, and Mrs. Fisher. We have Preston. And we also today are fortunate to have one of our Success Council members on here, a fifth grader from Mrs. Boudreau's room, that is such a leader, a role model, that she's wanting to share something we worked on yesterday. Do you mind sharing that, please, Brianna, today for the whole school to hear? Great. Go ahead.
At Success Council yesterday, we talked about transitions like going.
Okay. Could you stop just a minute? I can't quite hear you, so I want to make sure that what you say is so important. That's why I stopped you. Is your volume up? I want to make sure we check on all that and so we can hear you clearly.
Is that better?
Is there something maybe covering your keyboard?
Okay. Is that better?
Is Mrs. Anderson there?
Yeah.
Could you jump over to her computer and call you in there quick? I mean, this is just fantastic problem solving. Let's do that quick, if you don't mind, right in the middle here. Thanks.
Every day, I mean, we're provided with many opportunities to make a choice. And I really like, Mrs. Adams, when you talked about joking and having fun, and also considering knowing your audience or considering all of the people that are there. And I love it. I love it in kindergarten. They talk a lot about kind words. And I think that that is a very important thing to think about. Am I going to choose to use kind words or not? And then what would happen if I didn't? So I really like that we get to think about that
Mm-hmm.
in a safe place with caring people like Brianna.
Ready, Brianna? Go ahead. Thank you.
At Success Council yesterday, we talked about transitions like going in the hallway, going different places in the classroom, doing a different subject, or going to essentials. We all said that it is good to remember what the teacher said to do and do it every time. Like going in the hallway, we need to be at level 0 with our hands on our sides and facing forward.
Great summary, Brianna. Thank you. We're continuing to work on transitions and fine-tune them as we learn more about how that is happening at Findlay every time. Thank you.
Excellent. And thanks, Success Council, for thinking about more ways that we can keep these things in the front of our mind as we, again, have all the opportunity in a day to make choices, and choices have outcomes and consequences. So I'm impressed that those are the kinds of things that our student leaders are talking about. That's really thinking about themselves, introspective, thinking about what individuals can do on their own to help contribute to the greater good. And speaking of the greater good, I see Larry, you're here. Larry, do you have anything to contribute to the greater good here?
I have a shout out
Shout
Shout
out
to Mr. Sun for teaching us math about money and time.
Excellent. Mr. Sund is popular among the math students around here. That's a great claim to fame, Mr. Sund. Keep up the great work. And you second graders, all that curiosity and all that excitement for math, that makes me excited for math, and I don't normally get excited for math. So thank you. That's going to come in handy someday, because if you go to college, they will likely have you in a math class of some kind to help you deepen your understanding. So, a great time for a college cheer. Are we ready? You guys ready? You folks, 1, 2, ready, go.
2, 4, 6, 8. When does 5th grade graduate? 20, 20, 20, 32. 2, 4, 6, 8. When does 4th grade graduate? 20, 20, 20, 33. 2, 4, 6, 8. When does 3rd grade graduate? 20, 20, 20, 34. 2, 4, 6, 8. When does 2nd grade graduate? 20, 20, 20, 35. 2, 4, 6, 8. When does 1st grade graduate? 20, 20, 20, 36. 2, 4, 6, 8. When does kindergarten graduate? 20, 20, 20, 37. Family dreamers, dream big. Dream big.